Okay, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Engineering Major Philosophy Minor. Actually, if you're watching on YouTube, I should say welcome back, and if you're watching on Locals, I should say welcome too, because this video is going to be the first video and the intro video that I post to Locals, and I'm going to put this video up on YouTube as well. But what I want to do is I want to start transitioning my material from YouTube onto Locals, and Locals is going to be the spot where I post a majority of my content, and that's not because I want you guys to subscribe and I want to take money from you guys. It's because I think that Locals is just a better platform where I can speak more freely and openly about some of the things that I want to talk about on this channel. So if you're watching this for the first time on Locals, Engineering Major Philosophy Minor, or also called EMPM, is a spot where you can get a working aerospace engineer's opinions on topics pertaining to engineering, philosophy, politics, and various other social issues. And I just want to give you guys an idea of why I think an engineer's perspective might be of interest to you. Main reason being, we live in a time in our society where people seem to be valuing the science or the research or, this statistic or that statistic or this poll or that poll, seem to be valuing the science above almost anything else. And as a working engineer who works with quote unquote the science all the time and has to make not only judgments in terms of good engineering practice, but also in terms of just good safety and moral practice, my perspective is that, there gets to a point where those two things become very distinct. And I think it just might be interesting for you guys to get a perspective that can see it from kind of both angles. What is a good engineering approach? And then once we get to that point where we need to make kind of like a moral or ethical or safety related decision, we can use the science to supplement that. But at the end of the day, a moral decision may not necessarily be best served by strictly looking at scientific data. So one of the things that I have done on my YouTube channel that I want to do on Locals now is I want to go through various studies and I want to look at political and cultural topics from kind of a scientific perspective and then also a more philosophical perspective. Hence the name of the channel. So really fast. So here's the YouTube channel as it stands right now, and you'll notice there's only a few videos up, and there's actually a lot more videos. So you can see that I made a lot of these videos private, and there's a good reason for that. One of the reasons is because I want to migrate them over to Locals, but the other reason is because I recently moved out of California. I just got a new job. And I'm not super proud to say this, but I felt like I should probably keep my mouth shut for a little bit while I'm looking for another job. Not that I'm super popular or anything like that. I'm really not. This channel only has like 4 subscribers or something like that. But still, as we know, there's a lot of topics these days that can get people into a lot of trouble. So, rather than having that potentially negatively impact my career search and my smooth transition out of living from California, I decided that I would just kind of halt on the YouTube videos for a little bit, get all the moving stuff sorted out, which I'm in my new spot now, which I completely love. We're going to make a video about why I moved out of California and stuff like that, which you can catch on Locals. But for the time being, the YouTube channel is just going to be used to basically read passages from various books. Right now, I have been working through the Gulag Archipelago, I'm still reading Volume 2. I'm about 2/3 of the way done with Volume 2, and obviously I'm going to read Volume 3, but I want to go through these and other texts with you guys. And what I'm going to do on YouTube is I'll just post the video of basically me just reading the passages and kind of reacting to the passages, but really just reading them. And then on Locals, you can come in and you can take a look at that content where I will basically go through and do kind of an in-depth explanation and, more comprehensive reaction on that channel or on Locals for you guys. Now, what I'd like to do is I do want to set up the subscription service on Locals, but I'm still working out whether or not I really want to do that or if I just want to make it completely free for you guys. But anyway, welcome to the channel. I'm going to go ahead and end this video now, and there's going to be a lot more content to come. Super excited that you guys are watching, and thank you so much. And we'll see you guys in the next video. All right, later. Oh, and a couple other things that I forgot to mention. So I recorded this video actually a couple days ago, and I recorded it in 4K. And when I went to upload it to Locals, apparently the file size was too big. So, dear Mr. Dave Rubin, I do have a request for you. Can you please increase the, maximum size upload limit and maximum time upload limit? Because I do want to produce these videos in 4K. Simply because that's just like a hobby of mine. I like having, really good quality resolution and things like that. So it would be really nice if Locals went to the 4K capability. Unfortunately, most of these videos are going to be in 1080p for right now, 60 frames per second, but still not as cool as 4K in my opinion. And then the other thing I wanted to mention for you guys, the audience, if you guys come across a scientific study or a video about somebody claiming some scientific things, it doesn't necessarily have to be related to politics. It could be related to energy. It could be related to aerospace. It could be related to just structural stuff in general, civil engineering, whatever. Please go ahead and submit those to the Locals channel or leave a comment on the YouTube videos that you see, and I will do the best I can to go through those and address those. And I think that'll be really cool. You guys can, get science-related topics and just see what my perspective is. And I can't guarantee you guys that I'm going to be 100% right most of the time, but it is kind of my hobby to research just various scientific things, and there's going to be a lot of content on this channel that is very engineering related from a couple of different perspectives, hard science, maybe even best engineering practices, maybe also just some lessons in engineering kind of judgment and things like that, or just cool topics in engineering that are probably good to cover. So anyway, all right, later guys.